Oh, didn't see you there. Oh, what's up? Well, my name's S.I. Menace. This is my YouTube channel. Hope you like it.
I'm anti-vaccine.
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 Oh, wait, hold on. Me personally, I'm anti-vaccine. You know what I'm saying? I did not get the shit. I've caught COVID. You feel me? I caught COVID. I actually had a bad experience with it. I went to the hospital and shit. The shit was really bad. When I came back from the hospital, I was on a oxygen tank. Pretty much the shit fucked my lungs up. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't breathe. That was like really like the biggest issue for me. I just had mad trouble breathing like a motherfucker. So I think I got a video if I could find it or some shop. Corona shit. I like, you know, put the clip here or some shit. But yeah, I'm just I still ain't get the shot. I don't plan on getting the shot. I feel me, I'm just totally against it. I'll explain it more, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we just get into this shit.
I am not vaccinated and I haven't been vaccinated. And I have 2 kids, they haven't been vaccinated either, and that's all vaccines.
The whole COVID pandemic kind of woke me up.
It feels like discrimination when I tell people I'm anti-vax or I haven't been vaccinated.
I'm a pharmacist, and when they put in with the COVID vaccination, I just felt really uncomfortable.
She a pharmacist?
It just made me open my eyes to how many things are in vaccines and how much we don't discuss them in the medical community.
My anti is toward COVID vaccines. Actually, truth be told, the rapid test we just took was the first COVID test I've ever taken.
She definitely was a rapid
test. The vaccine was pushed so that they could rig the election, and that's personally my belief.
So you believe?
No, I never heard no shit like that.
I believe it was, yes.
Growing up, I got most of my vaccines. However, I especially did not want to get the COVID vaccine. The media censorship was the biggest start to me kind of, like he said, waking up to this.
We know ourselves better than going into a doctor who only sees us for a few minutes at a time.
You said you were a pharmacist?
Yeah.
She's a
did you
pharmacist?
Your work, you kind of implied that.
Yeah. With the increase of
You
the
see,
vaccine,
so I'm a little skeptical about her already.
So I actually have a family member that does work from home from an independent mail order pharmacy, and she got me a gig there. And since then,
Nah, shit, that bitch lying.
So you left willingly.
What's the odds of that? That's crazy.
So I used to I started as a teacher in elementary school, and they actually asked me to leave because it was mandated that you had to be vaccinated to be in like a group of kids. So that was really frustrating.
And that's a fact. My one of my brothers worked with kids, and he had to get the vax. So,
and the fact that I was fired from my career just because of a personal choice is like
you
really
see?
upsetting to me.
Yeah.
So that's why
I don't think they would have just fired him though. Like they get, cause even with my brother, when he got this shit, like he had to wait a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But they let him. They gave him time. I don't think niggas just fired him. So
I'm very
I don't
passionate
know.
about this issue now.
I was actually asked to leave nursing school. I started for a month.
She's
and
in
then
nursing
they
school?
accepted my religious exemption, and then a month into it said never mind. So
Yeah, I lucked out because I go to college in Oregon, and at first they were like, no, you can't come in here without a vaccine and everything, but I was able to get the philosophical exemption, and then they wanted to test me weekly, and I was like, no, like I'm not doing that.
You see?
And then
he raising me a little bit. I think he giving me more vibes only because I went to college, right? I went for like 3 months, and I went during COVID, like right when COVID was starting, like when they opened up the schools and shit. And you had to get a vaccine, but not at first. When I first got there, they was like, "Alright, you good?" And then I think towards the second semester to come back, they was like, "Niggas got to get a vaccine," and I wasn't jacking it, and I was already like planning on dropping out that shit anyway. So you feel me? So I don't know. I don't know.
after kind of going back and forth, they were like, okay, like you're fine.
Like I don't know too many people that stayed in college and didn't have to get a vax. So him saying that is wild.
I wrote Brian because in the waiting room we were joking that his name was Brian and not Ryan, and then
that's okay. He was able to get a philosophical exemption, which I had never heard of.
There's no way you could get away with not having a COVID test.
Most people have gone through at least one by now. We've been like 2 years in.
I don't know.
I could not believe that I got voted out
I think
first
I
round.
don't think he was a mole
If
though.
anybody is the mole, it's not
He didn't
me,
even get a
that's
chance to
for
talk,
sure.
so I don't
How
know.
has not being vaccinated affected like your guys' personal relationships, like friends and family?
I had to miss a wedding that I was really excited for one of my friends back in Indiana. She ultimately decided to ask everyone to be vaccinated because her grandparents were there, which I completely understood, but it was really heartbreaking to not be a part of that special day with her.
Yeah.
One side of my family refused to see me, so that was kind of disheartening. And I feel like people tie certain political views to my personal idea not to get vaccinated. I'm not a right-wing extremist, which I feel like a lot of people are associating me with. I am not just someone who is not vaccinated. I actually have natural immunity. I have contacted the virus before, and multiple studies have shown that natural immunity actually lasts longer as far as resilience to contacting COVID again. The right to our own body is the opposite of tyranny that would normally be associated with that.
Yeah, I'm very libertarian leaning.
Heck
so
yeah.
What the fuck is libertarian?
My ideas aren't like I line.
Oh
up
shit,
with
this nigga don't got no hands.
Yes.
We should have the ability to.
Oh, that sounded
decide what we
crazy.
want
I
to
ain't
do.
mean it no
Yeah,
type
and
of
I
way,
just think
but
it's
that shit just hit
scary
me
too
off
when
guard.
the government starts to say like, they're doing this for your own health and their safety, and
Yeah.
it's just funny like how all of a sudden the government started caring about your health. Wouldn't they have banned like smoking cigarettes
Yeah,
like
exactly,
years ago?
yeah.
Like it just seemed like a lot of censorship too, like to not be able to like find any other information about like side effects. I have a few friends who had like some bad side effects, but you can't, once you post that out there, it's censored.
Even
Yeah.
the very
That's
reports,
crazy.
there's thousands of reports
Yes.
of people with like vaccine side effects, and people pretend like that's not a reality.
And I think it's interesting how they care about our health and everything, but they say nothing about nutrition, sunlight, working out, going to the gym, getting outside, and being around people that love you and stuff like that. Like that's good for your health. Instead, they lock us in a room with like artificial lighting and paint and don't get sunlight and don't get to talk to people. Yeah, and then they put a mask on us.
I was saying I personally don't think that it's really anybody's business if
Yeah.
I've been vaccinated or not, and I don't think that I should not be able to go certain places, eat certain places, or even enroll my kids in school because they haven't been vaccinated. It's just not, it's not fair, and it's like really nobody's business. It's my health.
I'm going with the nurse.
He went to university in Oregon and somehow wasn't required to get vaccinated.
That's a thing. Like
Why would someone?
he said he was
from
in
a
school. I ain't gonna
conservative
lie.
area to a liberal area if they were?
I don't know
anti-vax?
nobody who like was in school like for mass semesters without taking a vax. Yeah, he a mo. I'm gonna say him. I kind of got my mind made up.
If you think the mole is still in the box, and you'd like
Yeah, that nurse. She's definitely a mo. Like, yeah, bro, what? She's pharmaceutical. The fuck?
Ask whoever
Come
they
on
voted
now.
for in the elections.
I voted for. Oh, you're talking about the actual election?
Yes.
Oh, I voted for Trump. Again, like I'm libertarian. That isn't really my.
Say real for
I'm
Trump.
not a Republican.
Trump wasn't
but
really
he
fucking
definitely
with that
was a better
vax too
choice
much.
over what we have now.
I mean, he was,
Yeah,
but he
I'm
wasn't.
libertarian as well, and I actually believe that neither of the candidates were good, and I did not feel comfortable supporting either of them, so I did not vote.
And I didn't vote, and I don't think I ever will be voting, honestly. I just want to make that statement because personally, I feel like that shit really don't matter. These motherfuckers already know who they gonna put in the White House. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck about like these niggas run shit. Like,
Right.
they gonna let you tell us who we want to put in the White House, nigga?
I
Please.
felt really
They just be wanting
uncomfortable
motherfuckers
with
to feel
just how nasty
important.
everything was getting. Everything kept getting more.
That shit don't
and
matter.
more
That whole voting
cloudy,
shit is
I
like-
felt like as the election came closer and closer, so I just didn't feel like I had enough information regarding either of them to confidently cast a ballot.
I get that. I mean, they're both really divisive, but like, you know, the effects matter. And like seeing especially what's going on now, I mean, we might not like either of the candidates. One of them's getting in, and we got to do our best, you know, to get the least of two evils. I think that is important.
I mean, I personally voted for Trump. I actually worked on his campaign because I actually do. I don't like everything he says, but I like his policies, and I believe that he allows people to live their lives and doesn't try to get involved with all of your business.
Wait, so you said you worked on his campaign? Did you guys didn't have to get vaccinated for that, or?
So that was the 2016
That was
campaign.
2016, okay.
I don't think he would have required it for the 2021, but
no.
I would work to the 2016.
That was a good ass question.
Didn't do anything for the 2020.
Asabi, I wanted to ask you more about your stance because we mentioned earlier that in general you don't feel like it's anyone's business. We kind of touched on autonomy. I wanted to hear more about why you specifically decide not to vaccinate yourself and your children.
Religious, I guess you could say. In my belief, like vaccines are like a no-go. Like we don't believe that we should put like poison in our bodies, and like we think that we should just handle everything in a holistic way. So
I'm pro-black as it is. My children are born in the house. You feel me? My children are homeschooled. Okay.
So you don't take them to the hospitals and none of that?
Nah, but I'm not extreme. So if it was necessary, I would, but it hasn't been necessary. You know, one of the things, I mean, we gotta look at the hospital, just to detour a little bit. But now here's a woman that's supposed to give birth to a child in the medical institutions where all these people with certificates are gonna turn around and tell that woman to lay down, to go against gravity and compromise the integrity of her spine, all right? And then wanna induce labor, all right? And give her epidurals. And if the child is born inside of 30 to 45 minutes from the time of that shot, then the child comes out, their eyes closed, we thinking it's perfectly normal, but the child is drugged up. That's crazy.
Message! Philippians 2:5 says, you know, our faith shouldn't be trusted in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God.
Exactly.
And so for me, it's like, that doesn't mean that like man has ultimate wisdom, but like what they try to push of like, this is what you need to do, like that automatically throws red flags for me.
he used a Bible verse for me that was like, okay, he believes in kind of like the same thing I believe.
But just because you're
Biblically
religious don't mean
speaking,
you ain't take it.
For me, it's like back when, you know, in Pharaohs in those days, they were killing babies. And then with the vaccine, it's like, I just don't trust it because you're trying to mandate something that could possibly harm or kill someone. And
As a
just like
pharmacist, I know how much Big Pharma puts money in. It's
And the left for
constantly
so long has been, oh, we're against big pharma.
I was
And
gonna
then all of a
say
sudden
that.
they jump
I was
in and
gonna
it's like,
say that.
everyone needs to listen to what Pfizer says. Everyone needs to listen to what Moderna and J&J says.
I don't think
If you feel like
I don't
the
think she was the
mole is
moon.
Still in the box, and you'd like to continue playing the game, please raise your hand.
Oh yeah.
You need a majority vote, and since it's just the two of you, instead we're going to ask, can you share your suspicions? Let's air it out.
On that mentality, but like just being around a lot of libertarian circles, there are a lot of people, and you guys both kind of said you're libertarian, right?
I honestly don't really have a strong political view, honestly.
Where we are now in the world, it almost is a statement to not be vaccinated. Now it's not just like, oh, I wasn't provided enough information. You can go to CVS and get it for free. You are kind of making a political statement whether you like it or not if you aren't vaccinated.
I assume most of us don't agree with the mainstream media or like watch a lot of that because obviously there's a narrative that's pushed there. So I was going to ask, what type of media outlets do you guys
I
consume?
follow the Daily Wire, Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens.
I fuck with Ben
Those
Shapiro.
are probably like the people I listen
And
to
that
the
last
most.
lady, I
Daily
don't
Wire
really
I've had
know what her
a little
name
bit of
was.
trouble with.
That was the same lady
Ben
she
Shapiro
talking about.
has-
The people I listen to the most.
The Daily Wire, I've had, obviously there's a narrative that's pushed there. So I was going to ask, what type of media outlets?
I
do you
fuck
guys-
with Ben though. I kind of like him a little bit. He kind of
the
funny.
Daily Wire, Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens. Those are probably like the people I listen to the most.
The
Well,
Daily
I
Wire
heard
I've
of
had a
Candace,
little
but
bit
I
of
ain't
trouble
never.
because
I seen like a
Ben
couple
Shapiro
of it. I
has
don't really know or no like
promoted
that.
vaccines.
Yeah, I
Candace,
disagree with that part.
I like
yeah.
Candace Owens, but yeah, I don't know. I've kind of gone on and off with Ben Shapiro. But I like Steven Crowder. I like Dr. Robert Malone, Hank Pecker. There's a lot of different streamers and media outlets that I think do push a more like you should be able to choose what you want for your own body.
She worked in the medical field, and that is an area where you do have to typically be vaccinated.
I think being anti-vax is a big political statement, so that looked a little off to me.
It's not true. That whole lot, they don't have to be so fucking political or whatever. Like, I feel like, yo, bro, it's just common sense shit. Like, I know, like, one is like right now, right? I know a couple of people who got the vaccine and caught COVID twice. They just didn't die from it. That makes no sense. Like, you can get the vaccine and still give it to somebody. That don't make no sense at all. Like, what am I taking it for? You feel me? I understand older people getting it, like elders and shit like that. Like, if you in like your 40s, 50s, and you know you have a higher chance of like getting it and dying from it, then by all means take the vaccine. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Because it do prevent most people from dying, seeing what it look like. You know what I'm saying? But for like the younger people, I really felt like motherfuckers was not supposed to be taking that. That shit just made no sense. It's like you tell me I get the first shot, now I get the first shot. You saying I gotta get the second one, now I get the second one? Yo, I gotta get a third one. Like, that's crazy. Nah, that's wild. That's wild. I know a lot of motherfuckers mad they got it too. I know they regret it. And then you got some people that didn't go with getting all of the shots that you had to get. Some people got the first one and then they heard second one. They was like, nah, now I'm not getting the second one. So now did the first one really matter? What was the first one? What was that for? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Shit bogus. For older people, y'all go crazy. Y'all use that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I understand. I know it sounds a little selfish. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I understand older people getting, but younger people, that shit. Even the older people kind of regret getting it. Like, you feel me? I know motherfuckers that didn't get the third one, but they got the first and the second one. You know what I'm saying?
I was pretty bummed.
I'm gonna stop pausing it, because the shit that really get me tight. And then you got different people handing out the vaccines. Like you got different distributors, or however you say that word, distributors, whatever. You feel me? Excuse my language and the way I talk, you know what I'm saying? I'm an IEP veteran, you know what I'm saying? I had an IEP, you know what I'm saying? I got all the IEP Hall of Fame badges and shit like that. I was in speech therapy, so, you know what I'm saying? It worked, but it ain't work, if that makes sense, you know? But yeah, you feel me? It just really don't make sense. And two people, look, that's like me. I'm saying, all right, me and my mans, we both got the vaccine, right? We sell a vaccine, you feel me? Not sell it because the shit was free, right? I got a vaccine, you got a vaccine. If it's the same shit, wow, both of us selling them. You feel me? If that makes sense. If you get it, you get it.
Thought I had spoken pretty well about my beliefs, so I was surprised.
If the lights turn red, that means a mole.
Nah, they straight. None of them's moles.
You lose. If the lights turn green, that means you have voted.
They definitely got the mole out. I ain't suspect them. The black lady might. I don't know. And she cheesing like a motherfucker too. That's crazy.
He definitely sold me, so, like, well done, my friend.
I'm very politically engaged, so I've had a lot of conversations with people just about, you know, whether or not people should get vaccines.
I knew it was too young. I knew it.
That type of thing.
She was like, come on, pharmaceutical?
My goal here was to kind of just
What?
be really
You was
subtle
not
about
quitting
it,
that job.
Just sow doubt in the vaccine, not really take a hard stance with like pandemic or like microchips, you know, that extreme wing, because I don't think anyone really here is on that, you know, spectrum.
Honestly, I said that because I was trying to get some points, because I thought.
You see, he
like,
was
if I say
gassing
pandemic,
it though.
I'm
See,
good to
he
go.
even knew that. He was gassing it.
I'm a pharmacist. I actually was a part of the initial movement to vaccinate. I went to nursing homes, put vaccine in arms. A big part of my experience with that is just seeing how much of a toll COVID has taken on my fellow healthcare workers. I have people that work in the ED and see how tragic that is. One of my closest friends actually.
You see how she said?
COVID. There's a lot of data in medicine.
You see how she said, like, she worked at what was it, like an old folks home or some shit like that? I think it was old. Let me make sure, because I don't know.
Actually was a part of the initial movement to vaccinate. I went to nursing homes, put
Alright, old folks home, nursing homes. Like I said, older people, you feel me? I feel like older people definitely needed it. You know what I'm saying? Because they have a higher chance of dying from it and getting it and shit. But older people, you like the younger, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't need to take that shit.
A big part of my experience with that is just seeing how much of a toll COVID has taken on my fellow healthcare workers. I have people that work in the ED and see how tragic that is. One of my closest friends actually lost her father to COVID. There's a lot of data in medicine that I question all the time. As a person of color and as a woman, I know how much the data is against people like me being treated. But the vaccine is something that I've seen time and time again that I don't typically question. The data just stands for me, so I stand with it. I really do understand why a lot of people are concerned with how far can government reach and what does that mean for the common people? Where do we draw the line? I think that is genuinely a super important conversation to have.
Most people who are skeptical of the vaccine are either consuming that from certain media outlets or just people that are around them really pushing that idea. If we as people who think vaccines are important don't actually interact with them, they're just kind of stuck in that bubble, and that's not helpful for anybody. High five.
Alright, yo, that's pretty much it for this video. Shit was solid. My sister put me onto these Jubilees, so I was just mad at these shits that I was seeing now. Like, I'ma definitely react to. So That's pretty much it, yo. Thanks for all the love, support. Like I said, if you brand new, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, y'all be safe. Y'all stay dangerous. And I'm going to see y'all when I see y'all, man. Peace.
I managed to make it through it all. Hot stop supposed to shine when the streets be dark. They waiting for me to fall off, but I can't even trip, I don't need no fall.